Hello and welcome to the latest MK Web, MK Don's podcast, the post-season special, with myself, Dan Palmer, and Scott Kirk. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. It's quite strange having some weekends, making the use of having free weekends, but good to get those fixtures in a couple of weeks, and then we can find out where I'm going to be spending every Saturday for the next year of my life.
Yeah, it's great to start the planning, isn't it, when the fixtures come out. I think we're hoping for a bit more news, maybe, planning to do this podcast. Just a one signing so far.
Yeah.
Danny Green. Other clubs have already made a few signings. We've seen in previous summers, Don's announcing news very, very late, which fans get a bit upper to, don't they? A bit anxious when that's the case. Hopefully some news soon, though.
I think in all honesty, I'm sure that Carl and not everybody would have liked maybe a couple more signings by now. I was expecting a good 2 or 3. I would have thought 2 or 3 by now. Obviously, for whatever reason, there's always lots of negotiations with these sorts of things, isn't there? So for whatever reason, it's not panned out. But Danny Green's a good signing. Some much needed cover on the wing. Obviously, we don't know how Dean Bowditch is going to be for next season with this continuing hip problem that he's got. And Daniel Powell, is the only other real fit winger, I think, at the moment. So I think Danny Green's going to be really good. He's signed for a couple of years, I think. Is it 20? It might be 1 year. 1 or 2 years, but anyway, we've got him next season permanently, and I know that those permanent signings are the key. Really, I think they're trying to get permanent signings in rather than loan signings. Someone who's going to want to play for the jersey and who gets paid by the club as well. So I think Danny Green's a good signing, good cover for the wing. That striker is just desperately needed, at least one.
Yeah, it's the out and out front man.
Yeah,
we need, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I think you said before, it'd be great, wouldn't it, to a big name striker, get him in early just to give everyone a buzz and a lift.
Yeah.
Ahead of the fixtures coming out, ahead of the new season. You do sort of worry the longer it goes on, the best players are going to be tied down. They're going to have their futures secured.
Yeah.
If you like. Maybe I'm panicking a bit too early, but it's that striker, isn't it?
It's that striker, and possibly, I don't know. I mean, it might come in the week before the season starts, but then you just like to see it sign in purely because then they've got the entire pre-season to just get fit, basically. And I mean, there's still a month till pre-season begins, obviously, so there's a long time to go. But you like to think if you can get that signing in, get them in for the very start of pre-season, and then they've got all that pre-season to work with the players and to get that camaraderie going, which I think is really obviously so important for any team. So I don't always think you necessarily need money to win the league, considering how Leighton Orient have done. So bearing in mind Wolves and Brentford and Rotherham have plenty of money to spend, so it does help. But if you can get that camaraderie between the team and get the players, let the players get to know each other a bit more, then that can only be a good thing. So I think we'd like to see some signings. Not as many signings made yet, but hopefully that just means that negotiations are going strong still, and hopefully we'll see some more players.
Yeah, well, we do of course have not a new signing, but a contract news. Anthony Kay, centre back. He's signed a new deal with the club, which is, I think that's excellent news. His future is far from guaranteed. We didn't know if he was going to be leaving or he is staying put, so he seems very happy to have done so as well. I think that's that is a boost. That's
critical that he stays. I mean, the defence hasn't been the problem this season. The defence has been good. It's obviously been scoring the goals, I think, at times. And I think Jordan Spence and Anthony Kay have had a very good partnership at centre back, with a couple of good young right backs, and obviously Dean Lewington at left back. That sort of picks itself really at the moment. So Anthony Kay staying is vital, and if Jordan Spence can stay as well, that's a really good base to build your team. And they say about the great teams, you build. The great teams of our time are built on tight defences, and look at Atletico Madrid this season. Not scored the most goals in the season, but conceded the least, and they've gone on to win the Spanish league because of that. So your defence is absolutely vital. And, if Jordan Spence can stay, that would be great. But Anthony Kay staying is absolutely fantastic news. I was really impressed with him. He's got the lot as a defender. He can actually pick a good pass out as well, which I don't think people are aware. He can spray a 50-yard ball when he wants, and you know, he was superb last season. Hopefully he'll be injury free, and massively great news on that front, definitely.
I'm still waiting to hear contracts offered to another couple of players. Stephen Gleeson, we've yet to hear. I guess the longer that goes on, the more likely it looks like he's not going to accept that deal. He's obviously weighing up his options. And Mark Randall as well. I'm surprised no firm news there.
I thought we'd have heard something by now on the Mark Randall.
He was saying, wasn't he, at the end of last season, he hopes he's done enough to be offered a deal. He has been offered one. I thought he would have snapped that up. Maybe he's not happy with the terms, or
I mean, the impression I got towards the end of the season, and if this is the wrong impression, fair enough, but the impression I got, as you said there with the quote that he said, was hopefully he's done enough to get a deal. So, you know, if he was offered that deal, as you just said, you know, you'd have expected him to take it up, but I don't really know unless he's had another deal. I mean, he was in Italy, wasn't he? Unless he's got back out there, I don't know. But, you know, I would have thought that would have been done by now, but that'll obviously work itself out. Stephen Gleeson, I really don't know what's going to happen there, and I think he could leave, to be honest. Especially if Dele Alli stays, because I think that Darren Potter, Dele Alli partnership in centre mid could be really, really good next season. If Dele Alli can stay, there's obviously mountains of speculation about him at the moment, but you know, and if those two stay, maybe it's not the disaster Stephen Gleeson leaving that it necessarily might have been 2 seasons ago or even last season. So, you know, Dele's really come on this season, and you know, I think if we can keep him, he's going to be a massive player next season. I
think Gleeson, it may well be the time when he moves on. Depending if he can get a championship club who wants him.
I mean,
is there one?
I mean, if someone like him can stay, it's great, isn't it? Look at the competition for those central midfield places. Then that's what you need, that competition. You're going to get injuries in the season. Look what happens to Dan Potter at the end of last season. He was out for the last 3 months. So you know, if you can keep him, that's good. And if he's got that desire still to stay and to fight for the club, that's great. You know, so. But we'll just have to see what happens. It's a watch this space situation. I can imagine that rumbling on until the season nearly begins, to be honest. Stephen Gleeson, I think we could still be talking about him in 7 or 8, well, maybe not 7 or 8 weeks' time, but in 5 weeks.
You mentioned Dele Alli there. Speculation again this week. All the big clubs in the Premier League are going to be bidding for him. And what do you reckon? Do you think he'll still be a Dons player?
I don't know.
Come the first day of the season.
It's so hard to call. It totally depends on how much money they're offering, doesn't it? You know, I mean, if they offer a lot of money up front, it's going to be hard to say no. If they offer money after X amount of appearances and sell-on fees or whatever, you know, you'd be tempted to reject that a little bit more. So it totally depends on the money which is coming in. It wouldn't surprise. I mean, if you can get £3 or £4 million for a player, I think at League One level you could get a good striker for that. You could get some good players for that money, I think. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him leave at all. I know that he's a sort of player you want to build your team around, but if you're going to get a few £1 million in, I think if that money is then invested back into the team, you can get some very, very good players with that money. And if it's used smartly, you know, but it might not be necessarily the worst thing, Dele Alli leaving, if that money comes in. Obviously, he'd love to see him stay because he's absolutely world class, I think, to be honest. But you know, if a big enough chunk comes in and Carl can keep that money for players, you just get the feeling though, if money comes in, he's not going to give them all that money to spend on players. Half of it he'll probably get to spend on players. In which case, then we're probably going to be looking at another mid-table season. So. You know, and I don't know, Pete and Carl are very, you know, Pete Winkelman in particular has said a lot recently that we need to get up to the Championship now. You do that by keeping your best players, but then if you're getting $5 million for him, you can get some quality players in for that money at League One. So
well, I think you know, if the right money offer is on the table, I'm sure that'll be accepted. Like you say, it's just a case of that's got to be reinvested. Maybe bring in 3 or 4 quality players at League One level. You need to have a real go.
Definitely. I think the missing piece for it is a goal scorer. I think if we get a goal scorer, you know, like I say, that defence picks itself, really. Central midfield picks itself. Potentially 3 players for that position, if not, well, if Dele goes, it potentially be 2, but you know what I mean. You'd get another 1 or 2 in to go alongside down. Ben Reeves was quality in the number 10 place, so there are really good elements to that side, and you know, we just have to say they need to go up next season. I think that people are getting a bit fed up of being at League One now, and you know, I think you know, it needs to happen this season really if it's going to happen.
One player looks like he's going to be departing, Luke Chadwick. I think we're all expecting his move to Cambridge to be made permanent. In the coming weeks, you know, a great servant for Dons. A few amazing seasons. Went backwards a bit last season, I think it's fair to say.
I think
his boy a dream of winning a player final with his boyhood club at Wembley. I don't think you can begrudge him that, really, can you? So
well, I think he's just, you know, like all footballers do. I think he's just getting a bit older now, and you know, you can't keep up to that same level the older you get. So you know, and it's his boyhood dream. So I'd be surprised if he's not playing in the Cambridge shirt next season. I mean, he's not started every game for Cambridge even, I don't think, as well. So I think that probably shows that his legs are maybe just tying up that little bit. But he's been an amazing servant to Dons, and you know, I don't think anyone will have a crossword about Chadwick. It wouldn't surprise me if in future he maybe even getting back in a coaching sort of capacity, really, because he knows the club inside out. But you know, fair play to him, and I'd be surprised if he's even anything other than the Cambridge shirt next season.
Great stuff. Well, you know, we'll look ahead to the summer with interest. Obviously, there's another football tournament going on, the World Cup. England's chances, what do you reckon, out of the group?
No. Zero.
I don't think so either, I'm afraid.
I think Uruguay, I think they're about 25-1 with the bookies to win the tournament, and I don't think that's a bad bet, to be honest. I think Luis Suarez could really light up the World Cup. It's in that the right continent for Uruguay, and I think they're a massively, you know, a real dark horse. I can't believe Belgium are a shorter price than Uruguay, which seems strange to me. You know, I think Uruguay got a great chance. I can imagine England v Italy. I can't imagine England winning that. I think it's going to be 0-0 or Italy might nick it. I can't see us beating Uruguay at all. And then you potentially go into that Costa Rica game with 1 or none points. And Italy and Uruguay have already done what they needed to do. I mean, Costa Rica are a bit of an unknown quantity, but you know, you'd like to think England can beat them. So I can't personally see England get out of the group, to be honest.
No.
And then I think I can't see anyone other than Brazil winning it, really. I think it's going to be a South American team that wins it with the continent there. With the conditions there and the temperature or whatever. Argentina, not sure about them. Like I say, I just think Uruguay could be a strong bet for this World Cup. So
I think Argentina are my tip. I think this might be Messi's World Cup. That's what I think is going to happen. England, like I say, maybe only 1 point from the first 2 games, and then out of our hands. In the Costa Rica game.
I mean, Belgium are the same Spain at the moment, and let's not forget that they are. They've still got all the same players that have helped to win a couple of World Cups win the last World Cup and European Championships and stuff. So
I think it's
going to be around there. But
if Spain win it, that's 4 major tournaments in a row, isn't it?
That's incredible.
Absolutely absurd. Definitely the best team in history if they do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I think, you know, Spain have got. I can't see Spain not reaching at least the semis. I think maybe a Brazil-Spain final. Possibly, although I've just tipped Uruguay to, but it was maybe Uruguay-Spain. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting, but I think Brazil, Spain, probably Argentina, and I just think Uruguay will do really well. I don't know. I've just got a sneaking suspicion about them. I hope I'm wrong because I want England to do well. But we'll have to see. So.
Great stuff. Enjoy the football this summer. Let's hope some exciting Dons transfers and some good England performances as well.
Yeah,
nice one. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Bye.